The Washington Commanders have been active so far this offseason, but what will that mean for their 2025 NFL draft? My name is Tyler, here with my brother Ryan, and we've got a 3-round mock draft for you here for the Commanders coming up. Before we do that, let's do all the YouTube things. Subscribe, like, leave a comment. Let us know what your thoughts are on this draft, and tackle that bell to get notified when new videos come out. Ryan, let's pull up the Commanders' first slide here. So the Commanders have been very active. I would try to remember that I think the first major trade of the offseason, trading for Deebo Samuel, traded their
Yeah.
5th-round pick. Then another major trade, which was very shocking, traded their 3rd-round pick for Laramie Tunzel. I think that value is, I would say, quite amazing for a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah.
I can't think of any 3rd-rounder that would come in
Well,
and would be as good as
they
Laramie
gave up
Tunzel.
a second next year or something too.
They
Like there
give
was
up a
more to
second next year. Yeah, a
yeah.
second and a 4th-round pick next year. And so, but we're not worried about that. We'll talk about that next year. So, but this though, so already massive improvements overall. I think that offensive side of the ball here. They did end up losing Dante Fowler Jr. in free agency, and I get why they didn't want to pay him. You know, just with his overall career, and he only, I think, with his age too. So here you get his replacement, Donovan Ezeiruaku, edge rusher out of Boston College. The colors are already pretty similar to what he played in college, so maybe he'll get that inspiration to his college career there. But Ryan, this is a guy that you really like as well. You've seen him actually even play, being a big Georgia Tech fan yourself. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on Donovan and what he would bring to this Dan Quinn defense?
So one of the things that makes him a unique prospect is just he's 6'2", he's 245, 250. And I he's a really good run defender for guys that size. Usually you see guys and they kind of get blown off the ball. And he was a better run defender before he was a pass rusher. In the last season and a half, he's really kind of put things together pass rush wise, and really kind of shown a nice repertoire of pass rush moves. And so I think his draft stock is just going to keep going through the roof, and he's shown that he can be a 3-down player at the NFL level. And I just a really solid, hardworking player that I think NFL coaches and GMs are really going to love. So
Yeah.
if they want to go with more of like a traditional body type edge rusher, Braden Swinson is a little bit bigger. I think he would be a good pick. He went a few picks later to Philadelphia. Could also go Marion Hampton if he's there. I think he's starting to move up draft boards. And then if they want to get another corner to maybe pair with Mike Sanders still and Marshawn Lattimore, I think Maxwell Hairston could be a potential option there as well.
Yeah, no, it's I like what Donovan brings to Washington, especially too as well. The beef of that team is going to be in those defensive tackles with Deron Payne. They did move on from Jonathan Allen, but then you still have Jersey Newton there as well, and they've even signed on some guys like Eddie Goldman, Sheldon Day as well. Javon Kinlaw even signed a 3-year, $45 million deal. So they're beefing up the big boys outside. So I think it's going to free up guys like Donovan, these modern day edge rushers, these outside linebackers to really thrive, just like how we saw last year. So I like this addition here. Let's move on now to their 2nd-round pick. This is where we have them drafting Shavon Revel. He's been a guy that has been falling, I think, just because of his injury, and then I think other guys too are also on. They've had good off seasons and they've been rising, such as like Donovan Ezeiruaku. So I think I would have loved to have seen Shavon Revel have a full season here, even though I know he went to ECU, a little bit of a tinier school, but we've seen guys have really good years like that. Who's a guy that went to Toledo last year? He was with the Eagle.
Quinion Mitchell.
Quinion Mitchell, yeah, went to Toledo, and so I would say he had a pretty successful rookie year. And so just because they're going to like these more group of 5 schools, especially secondaries, doesn't mean that they're not going to be able to provide great value. It's just going to be how our team's going to value his injury and then like what he can bring to the table. But he's got the specs to be a good, if not really good, outside corner in the NFL.
Yeah, no, I really think it's a shame that he tore his ACL in August, but one of the things that about that being so early was that he can rehab and he can be ready for NFL camps. And so I hope a team takes a swing on him, and because I think going and watching what he was able to do in his limited time this year and in last season, I think he could be a really solid corner at the NFL level. So get a little bit of a steal there. They have the ability, I think, with just how well they drafted last year to take that risk. If they want to go with, I mean, maybe a less risky corner prospect, but still some injury risk there. Benjamin Morrison with the hip injury, I think is still a risk. As a Azarie Thomas is actually the correct pronunciation. The cornerback from Florida State, I think, would be an interesting pick as well. He's a bigger, more physical corner, where I feel like Lattimore and Mike Sanders are kind of the smaller, shiftier guys
Yeah.
that can really mirror. And so that could be another option there as well. But all in all, I mean, the Commanders are just in such a good spot heading into this draft. They clearly found their quarterback of the future. Terry McLaurin had one of his best seasons of his career. They added two key offensive pieces in Debo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil already. And so this defense was playing really well under Bobby Wagner, who came back under another 1 or 2 year deal as well. So like they've just done such a good job of one, preventing turnover, but then also building upon some of their weak points last year. And I think this is going to be a really good team in 2025.
Oh yeah. Well, it's amazing too. It's like it's well, one, it's just easy to just make fun of Dan Snyder, but it just how much a change of ownership, also to just the
Yeah.
whole culture and the vibe of this organization has changed. And then you go and find a guy like Jaden Daniels, who is sometimes you wonder if he's got a pulse because he just looks so unfazed in like
Yeah.
these super high pressure moments as well. So they've found a star. He's going to be a great star. They've made the moves for it too, and totally random too. Just but because we're talking about the Commanders and Jaden Daniels, he was with Juju Watkins at the women's college basketball game, but I hope Juju Watkins makes a quick recovery there because she like tore her
Yeah.
ACL and everything. So we're rooting for you, Juju, and then also too watching Jaden Daniels, just rooting for you to, unless you play the Falcons. I won't be rooting for you when you play the Falcons, but in the meantime, though, keep being entertaining because it's fun to watch you guys play football. So, but
Yeah.
I think the Commanders are gonna be great next year. I think in the Cowboys video you said like it's going to be the Eagles division for a long time. I think this is the actually team I think that can kind of dethrone them a little bit here with the weapons that they're making, and they're trying
Yeah.
to combat what the Eagles are doing over there, and they're going to have some regime change in Philadelphia. So maybe the consistency here in Washington can help boost them over the edge in 2025.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. So let's go ahead. Let's wrap up this video here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, leave a comment on what you thought of this Washington Commanders 3-round mock draft. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you have done differently? And that we'll see you guys next time.